All right, morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. I'm working with a new microphone this morning. Please, people, let me know if you can hear me. If you can't hear me, then I will plug in my old mic. I have a mic that's coming today. It's a proper podcast mic. You know, the big fancy mic where it looks like a radio station. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I need some yes and some no's before we get started. Please and thank you. Yes and no. Can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly? Or do I need to plug the old mic in? I need my wife in times like these. I'm sending wifey a message so she can check the live. And let me know what I'm. Loud and clear or muffled? I don't know how I'm coming across. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me work out this mic thing first. I just wanted to try a different mic. See if we can get a crisper sound. All right, my new mic should be here today. It's a proper podcast microphone. So we've been working on getting some things clear, loud and clear. All right, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. All right, so shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. You don't know already. Shout out to Nicole Bazaar. Good morning, Nicole. Thank you for being here. Darlene Walter Riley, thank you for being here. Good morning. Who's that? Kella C1. I appreciate you greatly. Thank you for being here. Kella says, Grand Rising, SouFLo, Brains, and the Morning Thoughts family. And like a phoenix, again, we rise. Up, 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 like that. Right? That's all. All right. Good morning. I'm so excited. I finally catch the live. Who's this? Julian Radcliffe. Julian, thank you for being here this morning. All right, so we got a couple of topics we're going to talk about this morning. Shout out to my entrepreneurs. Shout out to my stay-at-home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the drivers, Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, delivery drivers, long-distance truck drivers. Shout out to my brother Troy Stars Trucking Vlogs on YouTube. Troy Stars Trucking Vlogs on YouTube. Troy Stars Trucking Vlogs on YouTube. Go check his channel out. Tell him SouFLoTV sent you. Hit that subscribe button when you get over there and help another brother to build his platform. All right. Productivity and progress is what we're talking about. In the vein of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, each one teach one. Each step up the ladder, you pull another one up with you. That's what we're doing. So it's Tuesday morning, if I'm correct. And putting out our children at 18 years old is one of the things we're going to talk about this morning. I think it's something that we need to stop, but we're going to get into that. The Khanice Jackson update, we're going to get into that as well. And lobster and crab on first date. Dear SouFLo, that one there I think I could save for last. So let's start out with the Khanice Jackson's update. In this video, we're not going to talk about what happened to her, how gruesome they found her and all this. We're not going to talk about any of that. We're just updating. So if you don't know the story already about her, then you need to go find out that. So her update is that they are, according to law enforcement, they are absolutely sure of how things happened. They are absolutely sure they have the right person. They have seized his vehicle. Blood was found inside of his vehicle, and they are sure that he is the only person that is responsible for this. So nobody else didn't help him. It wasn't a two-man thing. It was him that did it, right? That's what's come out so far. So they have him in custody already, and now they will be charging him. So once he's already gone through his questioning with attorney present and all these other things, now they're getting into the charging. And of course, we talked about sentencing in Jamaica, and the sentence guidelines need to change. And it's supposed to be a life for a life, especially in a situation where you have DNA proof and irrefutable evidence. Then yes, a life for a life. No 30 years and then you plead guilty, so they chop it in half and all that other stuff. So we'll stay close to that story and hope that true justice is served to Khanice Jackson's family. All right, I found out that she was her mom's only daughter. I saw this morning in a video, I said maybe her mom has sons and she was the only girl. But I saw that in a video this morning, the mom was standing right next to Andrew Holness. And it's echoey, babe. Okay, so I'm going to switch to my other mic. See, that's the kind of feedback I need from the wife right there. She says the sound is echoey. So I'm going to switch to, let me switch to my regular mic. And then we'll get crisp, clear sound later on when the new mic comes in, because that's what it's meant for. All right, I saw the mom standing next to the prime minister. All right, and the mom said that my only child. So maybe this was her only child, not just her only daughter, but her only child. There was one report that said it was her only daughter. Yeah, just switch the mic back. So I have this mic, which is a boom mic, and the boom mic is what I use on my, this is attached to my camera for when I do my videos. You hear how clear the videos are, so I thought it would happen here for the live. Anyhow, the wife just checked and she said it's echoey and all that, so I switched it back to the lapel mic. But later on today, by delivery, we should have the proper mic for this. Oh, both are clear. All right. With the Khanice Jackson thing, we're not going to dwell on it too much. We're just going to say we hope that justice is truly served for her family. Y'all remember the other morning when I did the live, right? And I talked about Father God, the youth when named Father God. I talked about his music and all that. And then we talked about Twin of Twins. And we watched a couple of Twin of Twins skits and so on. You remember that live? That live was taken down. As soon as I got finished doing the live, I got a message by Gmail that said, because I know some people are saying, SouFlo, where's the live? The one where you did the other morning with all the music and stuff in it. It was taken down. It was taken down by Zojak. Zojak Distribution. Zojak does distribution for a lot of artists, a lot of big name artists. And it was because of a copyright infringement. Now, I told you before that these people can either A, look at it and they say, let the video run, I'll just collect the revenues off of it. Remember I said that? And I said, hey, it's a way for everybody to eat our food. I'm going to entertain my audience with it. And at the same time, y'all can just keep the revenues on that video. I guess they don't want to share revenues with everybody else that I played on it or whatever. So they took the video down. Other people whose material I played on the video, they just sent a copyright infringement. Now, when you get a copyright infringement, you can take your video down. It's not a strike against your channel unless they want it to be a strike. So some people don't want it to be a strike. They look and they say, okay, a SouFlo. I have a little platform I go on, so leave it, make it run, right? We'll just collect the revenues off of it. And I have no problem with that. If I use your material, I'm a fair person. You can take that, collect the revenues off it. Not Zojak. Zojak ordered for that video to be taken down. So the video was blocked. Okay? Amigo up there now, I saw 3-point-something K in 1 hour. Gone. Then the video was just gone. So you played the artist on that video also. Yes. And they took it down. So I guess Zojak is in charge of Father God music. I only hope Father God paperwork was done properly because he is not here anymore. I hope his paperwork was done properly, and I hope his family beneficiaries are getting the proceeds, because sometimes them artists here, they do music and they don't even know it's going to be a hit. A song you do today could end up being remixed into a mega hit tomorrow, right? But you have passed away. And if your paperwork is not in place, somebody else can make $1 million, literally $1 million US cash off of your music and your seeds don't get 1 penny off that. So I'm hoping that Father God's paperwork was in place so that, because his song is getting bigger and bigger, hope his paperwork is in place, and I hope the proper beneficiaries get, because they are going after it aggressively. To take your video down, that's aggressive. But I can't blame them. That's what the law is. That's how copyright infringement works. If somebody takes my material and uses it, I would hope I have the right as well to actually say, I like that person there now, and I like what they stand for, I like their platform. It's different from my platform, but that's a new audience I can reach. So let it play and I'll collect my revenues. Or if it's somebody that's violating me, your SouFLo is a dirty, and then using my material, I would hope that I could block that material as well, right? So I kind of knew it was going to happen. I was hoping they would at least just leave it up there and just collect them revenues, but it didn't work like that. Zojak said, no, block it. And it was taken down. You know? All right. So, moving on. We did Khanice Jackson's update. They've seized his car. They've found blood in his car. They've recovered more of her belongings. They had already put out earlier that they had found some of her belongings, and they know exactly how everything happened. We don't know if it's by way of a confession. We don't know whatever. So again, we will wait for more update, but this is where we are right now. They're working on it. They have the proper person in custody, and now they are moving forward. Okay, and that's for Khanice. Now, let's talk about putting our children out at 18. The one I really want to get to is the Lobster Crab on the first date one, and it's a dear SouFLo, but me I gotta save it for last. So let's talk about putting our children out at 18. I saw where somebody left in my comment section that said we need to stop. We need to stop putting our kids out at 18 years old. I right now have an 18-year-old. He just turned 18. So I'm in that same boat. I'm not in a rush to put him out anywhere because I remember how the world was for me when I was 18. Teen is still in his, when you say Tafari is, and you say his age, you hear teen. So for me, 16, 17, 18, 19, it's still teen. They're still teenagers. So I don't think they're ready for the world at 18. You know, a lot of us have this thing where when you hit 18, you got to go. The child starts worrying because they're hearing this from them. They develop anxieties because they're hearing this from they're about 16. Some people say, I can't wait till you reach 18 so you can come out. Because legally, I could throw you out and the state or the country or the laws won't do anything to me. That's rather aggressive towards your own child, right? And to kick them out at 18. Now, you remember, at 18 years old, you remember what you were like at 18? Could you seriously now say that some of us are far removed from 18 to the point where we have children now that are 18? So may I ask Uno that? I'm asking you that. Do you remember what the world was like for you when you hit 18 years old? Can you look back right now and honestly say, I was ready to handle the world and I did? Can you? Beverly Jackson says, yes, not every 18-year-old is ready for the works. Majority of 18-year-olds are not ready. That's the truth. And in everything in life, we have exceptions. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are those 18-year-olds that function like they're grown people because they've been tuned in to what it is they wanted to do, and they've been honing their skills and focused since they were like 15, 16, or maybe even younger. By the time they hit 18, they have things going for them. That some 18-year-olds have things going for them that's bigger than what their parents have now as grown parents, right? You have 18-year-olds that are signing multi-million-dollar contracts right now. You have 18-year-olds that are operating their own businesses right now. So, but if your 18-year-old is not one of those 18-year-olds and they hit 18 and they're like, oh, I'm still not sure what it is I want to do, like, you have to be there to guide them. You can't throw them out into the world with all that confusion going on. Remember now, physically, they're going through changes. 18 is what I would say is about the height of puberty, right? It's about the height of puberty. Yeah, you bust little hair under your arm and on your front, and you watch your thing extend and it's growing, and you're moving into manhood, or your breast stomach get bigger, you're moving into womanhood, but you're not there yet. You're still going through puberty. So with those changes alone going on physically and them trying to control these emotions and these newfound emotions and testosterone and hormones running wild, and you're going to compile that with go find somewhere for stay, go pay a light bill, go pay a phone bill, go pay a water rate, go pay a car note, go get a job, go just like dash them out like that. That is rough. That is rough. And then when we do this to our children, we expect them to survive. And then we look and we tell them stuff like, you reach 20 and nothing still not going for you. And poor kid. Poor kid. And 18 to me, again, is no different from about 16, 17 to 18. It's a 3 year difference in there. A lot of 18-year-olds think like a 16-year-old, believe it or not. And they feel as if they know everything. You remember when you were 18, you feel like I had arrived. I'm an adult now. Nobody can tell me nothing, when you were just wrong as hell on almost everything. Wrong and strong wrong. So they're easy prey for people, and we live in a world of predators. So they're easy prey for somebody because they're gullible. And then you've made them vulnerable and gullible. They're already gullible because of their age group and whatnot, and then you made them vulnerable. So the praise are out there. Kenny G says you have 30-year-olds that's still depending on their parents to take care. Nah, that's a different something. That's a different thing. The only way I want you depending on me to take care of you at 30 years old is if you have some kind of illness, or if you have some kind of what we call a birth defect, or you develop some kind of sickness, or you were born a certain way with certain conditions that requires lifetime care. But see, it's only parents who put their work in and their time in can say this though. So at 30, I did enough from before birth to provide for you all the way up till you were 18, and I was there 19, 20, 21, still didn't fling you out, still not planning to fling you out. Want you to get out there and get it together, but unless you're going to school and you're in a program like that, you got a school. Is it a master's you're going after, a doctorate, something like that, but 30, nah, that's too far. Virtuous Woman says kids of this generation are totally different from when we were growing up. Some of them not ready. Enough of them not ready. The world has changed. It's not as simple as when we were growing up anymore. With just the internet world alone, people are getting kidnapped and trafficked and drugged and taken places and taken advantage of, and find themselves in situations where they hardly can get out of it. For instance, I think it's huge in the UK, but I know they do it here as well. So what you do is you find a youth, right, that's struggling. Parents just kick them out. Perfect example of someone who I would go after if I was this type of a predator. So you find a youth that's struggling. You need somewhere to stay all this. I'm a drug dealer. I need my stuff moved, but I need workers that I can keep around for a long time and manipulate. So I go to this young youth and I say, yo, listen, I'm gonna give you a quarter key, right? Chop it, bag it, give you a quarter key. You run this off, you bring me back this much. When I give him that, if he takes it, when I give him that, I set him up at the same time and send somebody else to go rob him for that. He dealing with hardened street men. See, that's been doing this for a long time. So what they do is they would set somebody else up to go rob him back for that. Now, give him a large amount of stuff, send somebody else go rob him, and now when he comes to tell me that he got robbed, I'm telling him, well, you know how the game go. I don't care about you getting robbed. See? You're going to have to pay me back my money. So he's like, I don't have that kind of money. I don't have those thousands of dollars. I barely can pay for the little room that I'm renting. That's why I was doing this. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can't, listen, I don't give up. Give me my money. So this is what you're going to do. Here's a whole key. And you're going to run this off and bring me back my money. Matter of fact, I'm going to put you in the spot. Next thing you know, your child is in a dope house serving. They'll take drugs, but they got there and they're in fear for their life, for the person who set them up and pulled them in. And this is real. This was actually printed in, I believe it was the Daily Mail, where they gave you a full walkthrough of how they did it. So the traps are out there for your kids to fall into, and the predators are waiting. So if your child is not ready for the world like that, don't put them out at 18. You're putting them out at 18 to be victimized. To be victimized. A girl, you have, come on, you have men out here just waiting for her. When she's out there and her pride builds up and she's like, I don't want to tell mommy and daddy nothing that I'm out here suffering. They think I'm not going to make it because they put me out at 18. I'm going to show them that I can make it. There goes Zaddy. He got a nice, comfortable condo. He drives a nice car. You know what I'm saying? He has everything going. And she's thinking, okay, I could go maybe start a relationship with him or whatever, just to have somewhere to stay. Or he comes into her like, I love you and I want to date you, marry you, all this stuff. Just spin her head like a gig, yeah? And use her and just abuse her and fling her out and all these other things. So you're setting up your children. Not to mention, worse, if she get in touch with a pimp, a finesse pimp. So they have different kinds of pimp is what I'm learning. And you have gorilla pimp. Those are the guys that grab a female off the street. Hey, y'all, come here. You out here selling? So she already out there selling, right? Grab her off of the street. You out here selling, you got a pimp. She like, no, I don't have no pimp. Well, you can't sell no goodie round yourself because this is my street. So here what? You work for me. And they take them somewhere and beat them up and rape them for days and then put them back on the street. They're so shook and scared. They're out there literally now working, selling their bodies and giving the money to somebody. Then you have the finesse pimp. And the finesse pimp is the one that he'll keep a condo somewhere. And in that condo, it'll have 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. When you go to that condo, there's about 8 girls living in there. All those 8 girls dance at somebody's strip club or prostitutes and dance at somebody's strip club and gives the money to him. This is how he pays for the condo, but the amount of money that they're making, and they have a limit on how much money they should bring in per day. And if you don't bring that money in per day, either pimp beats her or what he calls his bottom bitch, which is the toughest girl in the house who looks out for all his interests, she's going to beat her. Or she can't come back to the condo unless she makes this amount per day. When these things are reaching your children, you won't know. You won't know because half of the time at 18, you're so filled with pride, and then you're going through this and you're vexed, you're mad, you're upset. You're like, this is what they put me out here to go through. So they end up going through it and they hurt and they suffer even more. Sharon Smith, good morning and thank you. I appreciate you greatly. Sharon said, good morning, family, and good night. You and good night. Yeah, because some of us are in different time zones, right? Says you, my kids home till they buy their one is almost out. Live y'all. Good morning, Empress Brains. Love y'all. Good morning, Empress Brains. Man, that autocorrect be messing up a lot of good messages, Sharon, but I get what you're saying. So you keeping your kids home until they're old enough to buy their own house. Not unless they're buying it in their early 20s for me. Man, I'll keep nobody home till they're 30. You're going to have to go out into the world and experience some things. I'm sorry, but just know that I'm here and your room is still here. So if you go out there and you get bounced really hard, run home, because you have a home to run to. Don't be out there suffering and getting beat up and, you know, like everybody else out there that I don't have anywhere to turn to. No, you have somewhere to turn to. I'm not taking all your options off the table, but I'm sure as hell not supporting you at 30 being in my house just like that. You gotta get something going. I'm helping you to get something going. I'm putting you in a position to be able to say, I don't have to live in my parents' house. I can take care of myself now, right? And I think that should come somewhere in your early 20s. Unless you're living on a college campus or a university campus somewhere. But I'm not going to just push you out at 18. Tamara Brown Ford says, yes, SouFlo, that's exactly what I told my daughter. That if she's living on a college campus or a UWI campus somewhere, she's good, right? Because you know what she's working towards and you know that it's marketable. She's going to be able to go get out there, get her own money and these things. Other than that, go out there and see the world. Go out. How else are you? The worst thing you could probably do, though, other than kicking them out too young, is keeping them around too long. Because then you have grown people that feel like they're privileged to everything that you have without all the struggles that you went through to get it. Now, I know some people say, but isn't that what life is supposed to be? So your children don't struggle as hard as you did? Yes, it is. But y'all remember watching Black Panther, where the dad said a man that does not prepare his children to survive in the world after he is gone is not a man? You remember that? Okay, so you have to prepare them to survive in the world after you're gone. And take into consideration that you don't know when you're going. That's another thing. So you instill, you teach. At every opportunity I get to teach my kids a lesson about life, I do. I teach them from before they even understand what I'm saying. So by the time they start understanding what I'm saying, it's just on replay, teach, show them, teach them, and be there for them. But I don't want no big person in my house. That means I have failed. That means if I should pass away today, you at 30 years old cannot take care of yourself. So everything that I have amassed, that I am leaving behind for you, somebody probably can easily come and swindle you out of it. You have to understand the struggle. You have to understand how I got to where I'm at to be able to elevate you to another level. And you have to take those steps. But flinging them out at 18, which is the basis of this conversation, I think it is absolutely garbage. I left home early, so I'm one of them. You know, but I had good family that I could fall back on, and they really looked out for me. See? But a lot of people didn't have that. And I remember being around a lot of people that didn't have that. And everybody did just want to get a little job out there somewhere. One of my brethren was washing dishes in the back of a Jamaican restaurant. No, washing dishes at a restaurant, that's okay. When you are washing dishes at the back of a Jamaican restaurant, one of those hole-in-the-wall kind of restaurants there, all kind of something going on in there. Everybody in there, I don't know if it's the same, and I'm not saying it is, but back then, every man in there have a side hustle. They might sell weed, or they might sell coke, or them do other kind of things to make some money to survive. And everybody in there young and trying to get through. And I remember they didn't have nowhere to go. I had extra family to lean on for me. So some of this stuff, when I speak from a personal experience. You know, don't throw kids out at 18. It's something we need to stop. It's something we need to stop. And you know what? We're probably the only people that do this. We are probably, and this is real talk, we're probably the only people that do this because, man, to be in the occupational therapy field, right, and to see, I remember one therapist on my last go around, he was 26 years old. I can't call his name or anything. This brother is 26 years old. This is his first time leaving home. And I met a female that was his same age, and both Caucasian. He was leaving home though at 26 for the first time. But check this out. He was leaving home at 26 years old with a master's degree, no school, no loan to pay off. He had his own place now. He bought a Jeep. And when he bought his vehicle, he bought the vehicle brand spanking new. And he was able to do all this. He has a master's degree. I can't say what his job is. Just know it's in the medical field. I can't say what his job is because it will probably pinpoint out exactly who I'm talking about. The world is smaller than we think it is, right? And really, I try to keep that life away from this one because I might say some things over here and people are like, oh my God, how could you say that when you work in this kind of environment? And they try to clash the two and then try to get you in trouble on that other side. So I try to keep the two. Certain things that are not to be mentioned. It's just like I can't come out and talk about a particular patient and just say the patient's name and say their condition and say I can't do any of that stuff. So I can speak vaguely. However, at 26 years old, this brother was just leaving home and he had everything. And he was able to splurge and enjoy life and live. And I thought to myself, wow, I would want that for my kid. This is what I would want for my child, you know? But not home at 30. And I'm definitely not kicking you out at 18. Seeing? Darlene says, this is how it's supposed to be done. Yes, that's how it's supposed to be done. Sharon Smith, I appreciate you greatly. Thank you. Sharon says, nah, 25 and 24. I'm in Jersey. I'm going to bed. 12-hour shift done. I prepared them from young. I have no contract with God. I taught them the basics and about credit and savings. They have 2 more years. Yes. You're on track. You're on the right track, though. Look at the age group that you chose. One on your bed. Go get some good sleep because sleep, rest is very important. All right. And I appreciate your donation. So she's saying that she just busted on a 12-hour shift. Shout out to my people going out to work this morning, coming in from work. Progressive, productive people. See that? For those who work multiple jobs and some on the work, some shifts where it's like you have multiple jobs. That's on the grind. I respect that. But she's choosing the right age group. And just like the youth, I'm telling you, he was able to boast and show off on everybody. And the rest of us, we come from struggle. And every therapist of color that I met came from struggle. And we had to struggle to make it. And then we barely got there. And then we had to fight some more to get, you know? So watching them do that, I'm like, man, their life is so cushy. That's how it's supposed to be for your children. If you're able to make it a little better for yourself, then you should make it even better for your children. I want my children to have more than I was able to have. I want my children to go farther than I was able to go, to expand bigger than I was able to. And I'm trying to set them up for that. And kicking them out at 18 is one way to probably ensure that a child goes way off course. Because they're going to have to, what we call old school in Jamaica called bata bata. They're going to have to go bata bata out in the world if you put them out at 18. I hear Kai crying. Sandra Ellis says, I left home at 17 with no choice. Yeah, that's never a good thing. A lot of us had to leave early, but that's never a good thing. And that's something else outside. Somebody says the doors are closed. Out you go. Who goes out and doors closed? That's rough. So far, apparently the drug dealers start on the youths as young as they reach secondary school. 11, 12. They target the youths at the chicken shops, etc., and pay for the food. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. And they're young and impressionable and they're hungry. So when somebody come and say, yo, I'll pay for your meals and stuff, you know, they jump at it. They don't, it's like prison. When somebody come in and, oh, you got slippers? You got boxers, you got, you know, you need soap, you need anything. You know, a smart person would know that, no, I'm good. I don't need nothing, because they're coming back to collect. Nobody is going to just give you everything for free. You need a clean towel, you need a t-shirt, you need some shoes, you need, it ain't for free. But these poor kids don't know that. They think, oh, I left home and I'm running into people that really care about me, until they strike. And they usually sucker them in for a while and then strike. Hi, Kai. Good morning. Okay, so can I finish the show and then come get you?
What was that?
Kai is up and on me this morning.
Morning.
Say morning. Look up there and say morning. Look up here and say morning. See, there you go. And then morning. Morning.
Cheese. Cheese.
All right, go, mommy. Let me finish this. Let me get him out of this room, please, and we can continue this, because I really want to do this lobster and crab on first date, dear SouFlo. I really want to do that one next. And we have we're at 36 minutes into the hour, so we have about 20 minutes of show left. So give me a second. Kai, come. Go, mommy. Take your truck. I'll see you when I'm done, okay? Ow. All right, I'm back. I have to go get Kai situated, and I'm back. All right, so again, shout out to the people who waited. Real life is taking place at the same time. Big up on yourself. Darlene Walter Riley says, you help them to strive, no burden on the parents. Jennifer Buckley says, what about the children that do not want to listen to their parents and are going like them are run things? Not in my house. Not in my house. I think your child will have a kind of respect for you, a certain kind of respect for you if you raise them a certain kind of way. Like, none of my kids can look at me and be like, oh, man, I'm gonna run things in a theme house. From any of my kids here, dad, or I'm going to tell your dad. Everybody's straight like arrow. You see? So I think it's how you raise them. Now, there are those kids who just unruly, mix up early, and feel like then you have somebody to fight with in your house. On that note, if you're in my house, a car picnic will kill you, you know. Now I'm talking about physically kill you, you know. There are kids that have killed their parents inside their house. So if you get to that age where you're 18, 19, and you're acting like you want to fight me off in my own house, and you still can't see what it is I'm trying to do for you because I didn't put you out and have you go pay all these bills on it, then it's time for you to go. And I am going to put you out. Then you're choosing to go do that. You're choosing to go do that. But raise your kids in a way that they can speak to you, so they can actually say, Dad, I'm confused. I don't know what I want to do right now. I think I want to do music, but I think I want to do nursing. I don't know which one to choose, you know. Raise them like that. Don't raise them so that when they reach 18, they're still like, I don't know what I want to do, and I really don't feel like doing nothing. I'm going to just kick up and chill. No, you're not kicking up and chilling anywhere. You're not kicking up and chilling. Now is the time for you to hit the ground running, and I'm there with you, right? But picnic will kill you. So don't take you have to balance life. Don't take the just that and be like, oh, he's my picnic, so I keep him till he's 30. And when he's 18 and 19 and kicking up madness in my house, is my picnic, so I still, no, I fling you out on your neck. I still have rules that you're still going to have to follow even though you're 18. 18, you still can't bring nobody in here. I'm not going to be in my bedroom chilling and over your bedroom, bed I tear down. I'm here wild bunny style. No, not gonna happen. So I still have rules that you're still gonna have to follow, right? But if they don't want to follow, like this person just said, then out you go. Out you go. At 18, you kind of understand though. You kind of understand because when you look around and you're like, oh damn, I don't have no more school unless I go enroll somewhere. People are moving on ahead of me. The world kind of comes to you at 18. And it's right there for you to see. Darlene says, no, that's never going to happen in my house. Katie Solomon says, SouFlo, when you have a dad in the house, it's different from a very good single mother. Yeah, listen, single moms, man, shout out to single moms. Big up, Tony. You're doing what you have to do. Okay? Or is what you have to do. Yeah. Dre Morrow, wild bunny style. You know, when you're 18, you really ain't doing nothing, but you're doing everything. See, wild bunny style, bang bang headboard in my house. Nah, not having it. I still have rules you're gonna have to follow. But yeah, shout out to the single moms. You're doing what you have to do. A lot of women work themselves into that single mom position. Maybe you have friends that are single moms and you think that that's the way to go because you see your friends them can switch man when they feel like it and go party when they feel like it, left the picnic everywhere and all that, you know. Whatever inspired you to be a single mom. Some woman, a whole heap of them actually either run away a good man for somebody they thought was going to be better, and then they end up having to settle for whatever they can get later because them have picnic and not everybody want to raise somebody else's children and all this other kind of stuff. It's just so many heads on this dragon. But single mom, big up to one of the good ones, them that's doing what you're doing. And I hear people say it all the time, like Mother's Day come around, Father's Day come around, they give the present to their mom and say, Mom was my mom and my dad wasn't there. And then they say stuff like that. But hear what? She could never replace a dad in the house. A proper dad, a good dad, a caring dad, their dad, interactive dad. She could never replace that. But she's going to have to do with what she has. You know what I'm saying? If somebody tell me if we dig a hole, of course I would like to have an excavator or I would like to have at least a shovel. But if you give me a pen or a fork, like a dinner fork, we still can try to dig a hole. So she's still trying to dig that hole and she's getting somewhere. It's slow progress. But if he was around, you know, it would be like having one of them big water, you know, the big water from the farm where your grandfather used to throw in the ground and put one leg, foot on, and big piece of earth come out. It's a difference. It's a difference that cannot be replaced. Cannot be replaced. So you have stepkids fighting with. Yeah, someone else, you ain't my daddy, don't tell me what to do. You not my mama. Hey, what you said to my mama? you take up other people pick there. You daddy a duck thumb because I don't even like him, mom. I don't like, first of all, and enough people don't want to go through that. Enough people don't want to go through that. You can't talk to them like how you would talk to your own. Gayaga here said it's because you love yours more than you love them, and then these kind of things. And the truth of the matter is that no matter how good step parents try to be, and I hear some people say, oh, he treated me just like his own. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. There were things that you missed. Ain't nobody ever treat nobody else children like their own. Only to a certain degree they do. If gun raised up and bullet is about to fly and you're here and that stepchild is here, where do you think step parent is jumping? You think step parents are jumping in front of you for you not get shot? No, you belong to my spouse, but you're not mine. May I jump in front of mine like that? So let's be raw real, okay? You only can hope that step parents bring some kind of good and don't molest off your pitney them or do something like that, because again, we live in that kind of world. Yeah? But I guarantee you, gun raise up and bullet a fly. That step parent is not jumping in front of your child instead of jumping in front of the one that came from their loins, to put it that way. So step parent, yes, when you get a good step parent is a blessing. But a lot of the stories I've heard of step parent, and I have my own of step parent, is maybe I got kill one. That was my real life story. Like literally took the shotgun out the car, he in my mom's room, and I know how to open the window. So I opened the window from outside, but the house didn't have a grill upon it. And I pushed the shotgun through the window, and I'm trying to aim for this man, and he's running around the room like this, and him run and get the phone. I called my mom in Jamaica, and my mom was in Jamaica, and he called my mom in Jamaica. And she had to cut her vacation short and come back to the US. So yeah, me know about them thing there. Okay, step parent ain't gonna, you have a good step parent, it's a blessing. If they treat your child so good that you can't even tell the difference of how they would treat the others versus yours, then that's a blessing. If them not molest off your pitney and stuff, that's a blessing. Single moms, do your thing. All right, let's roll into this next topic real quick though. Bossy Boss says, where do you think the phrase come from? Treated like a stepchild. Exactly. A lot of people ignore what stepchildren go through, and they dust it over. Kind of like how we dust over abuse and and talk about, yeah, grandma didn't love me, she beat me, bust up my head. Now that I got a haircut, you can see it right here. Yeah, she bust up my head and everything. Love them same way. Like you dust it over. But that phrase, you're absolutely right. Where do you think the phrase comes from? Treated like a stepchild. Sometimes them say like a red-headed stepchild to put a little more flair upon it. But let's get into this because we're 47. All right, so we have like 10 minutes left. Let me open my Gmail. I'll find this. I think this is so interesting. Some of the people listen, man, y'all kill me. Really. All right. Come on. Let me find it. Okay, here it is. Boom, found it. Okay, listen to this. We're switching topics totally now, so please stay on board. Ladies and gentlemen, I need your full undivided attention for this one. I need your full undivided attention for this one. So this one was titled, Lobster and Crab on First Date is a No-No. That's what it was titled, right? Dear SouFlo, I'm a 30-year-old Jamaican living in Florida, USA for 5 years now. And the dating scene has been rough for me because I choose to date only Caribbean women. I have dated women from Trinidad and Grenada, but mostly I stick to my own kind, which is Jamaican. My issue with the females I date is them chest too high. I love to go on dinner dates just to break the ice. But every time I take one to dinner and give them the choice to choose where we dine with our dine, they always choose some expensive place with expensive dishes like snow crab and lobsters. I actually told one I was going to the bathroom halfway through dinner and I left her there by herself because I could already tell by the vibes that I was not going to get anything, and that meal was $154. Please do a show and talk about this, and please tell them that mine is not a meal ticket, so lobster and crab is reserved for who is giving it up. Did y'all catch that, or you want me to read it again? Hold on there. SouFlo. So wait, somebody says, SouFlo, I have to play mother and father role. I have 3 sets across 1980s, 90s, and 2000. The one from the 80s, 90s behave well, but the 2000, not talk. A prison them want to send you. All right, we're up on a different topic. All right, we're talking about lobster and crab on first date is a no-no. Obviously, it's a man right the scene, right? No, well, stop giving them the option to choose and then complaining about it. But maybe he's giving them the option to see if them have a conscience. I don't know. Them said the only conscience them know is the one who sing broke off your back, broke off your back. Conscience what? Conscience where? That's not of my generation. We don't do conscience. Okay. Wait there. T95 South says they have the man going to crafty and juicy crab. I don't know if they make a paycheck, no? All right. I got a word or two for this. Listen, let me say it like this. There are, you're not gonna like me. Someone not gonna like me after this, but me not care. Okay, so this for the fellas, right? Fellas, listen. If your money, if your money is Walmart money, how should I say it? Yeah, it's Walmart money. You could go to Walmart and you could pick out a whole outfit at Walmart. If your money is, what next door name? Marshall's money. You could go to Marshall's, you could pick out a whole outfit. For those of you who live in these kind of places, you know what I'm saying? In other words, then, if your money is a certain level, you shop at those kind of stores. You don't walk up in Louis Vuitton. You don't walk up in a Versace store. You don't walk up in all the big name stores where a t-shirt costs $400 and $500. You don't go in those places, right? Well, it kind of like is the same thing for women, you know. Straight up, it is. So you have some woman with high maintenance, and you just simply cannot afford her, point blank and period. And I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman being that way. It's her choice to be that way. It's also your choice to know that that's not in your league and leave it alone. If you have Honda money, you can't go shopping for Ferraris. It's not going to work. You might schedule a test drive, but I think at Ferrari they check your credit and all that stuff before you even test drive the car, and you have to also show a deposit in some account for a certain amount. So right away you're excluded. You see? So let the woman them do what they want to do. Basically, if she is lobsters and crabs on first date, she's not thinking she's going to take off her underwear for you because you're buying lobsters and crabs. And to some people, that's low. That's low. Like, for instance, I told y'all before, right? I say I'm raising my daughters in a way that when a boy come talk about, hey, you want to go back to the house? We got a swimming pool. I don't want my daughter to be like, oh my gosh, y'all have a swimming pool in your house? Okay, I'm going. And next thing you know, my daughter get held and raped over there or something because some youth come talk about it's hot out here, summertime. Well, you know how teenagers do swimming pool right here in Florida. I grew up here, so I know we wild when we at teens. No, I want my daughter to be like, what's that supposed to mean, bro? I got my own swimming pool. Matter of fact, me and my girls, we meet in my backyard at my swimming pool. We don't have to come to your house for swimming pool. It's the same thing. Right now, my little daughter is 6, and a lot of the times when I ask her, what do you want to eat today? That little 6-year-old says lobsters and crabs, or she says seafood. Seafood means lobsters and crabs, right, for her. So I'm going to have to go buy a seafood tray. See? You can't fool a girl like that with no seafood. Seafood does not mean her panties come off for a female that's raised like that. Because she's going to be like, this dude is a dust up. I've been eating seafood, lobsters and crabs in my own tray since I was 6. So how do you not come tell me, but I got to take clothes off for you to buy seafood? No, you need a ghetto bird. You need somebody who hasn't had anything and is not used to anything. And brothers must also understand that when you do that, right? And it's a favorite saying. I even used to joke with wifey, and wifey probably couldn't understand it, so I have to tell her. But I joke, me did a joke. Cause she said, every day I ask her, I said, babe, what's for dinner today? And if she said seafood, I say, you mean like seafood, like Melbourne seafood station seafood? She like, yeah. When you order one of them there, it's like 90 something, 100 and something dollars just for the trip. But when wifey say it now, me used to say, well, you know what that mean? Yeah, she said, what do you mean you know what that mean? But it's because I grew up here hearing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say lobster and crab, lobster and crab is yeah, it's something that go on. It can't be no just lobster and crab, so expensive food that. But we're joking. I myself never ate seafood until me and Brains got together. Because, you know, for them side where they come from, Westmoreland, so they literally live in the water on the beach. So crab is something they chase down and catch. And we up in the hills in Clarendon, we don't really see them thing there, eat them thing there. We go out of our way, right? So it was through her that me order my kind of food for eat, she order hers, and we'll sit down there and watch her. And I remember the first time I seen her eating crab, and I said, so how are you gonna crack the shell? Because, you know, I should pick up the big crab leg and crack it with our teeth. And I said, blow my skirt. Like, okay, so, but that now broke up your teeth. And I really didn't know about crabs like that. I hear people talk about shrimps and steaks and crabs and lobster. And I'm like, I'm just so not interested. I'm like a rice and peas and fried chicken kind of person, or, you know, brown stew chicken with some rice and peas and them kind of something. There's me, steamed fish and okra with some, you know, that I me that. I don't know about no lobster and shrimps and crabs and these kind of things. And she crack it with her teeth and pull out the big piece of meat in there and dip it in a different thing. And I said, oh, so there's meat in there, actually. Come here, even know how it eats or nothing. But nobody still couldn't fool me with no lobster and crab. It wasn't of my interest, but for the females that interested in it, it don't mean she have to take off her panty for your brother. It doesn't mean she have to take off her drawers. And if you do that, then you got to understand what kind of female you are looking for. So don't be mad when you get that kind of female. Because you're not the only one that could afford lobster and crabs. And if she's driven by lobsters and crabs to take off and put out, then I can only imagine that what a vacation to a tropical island, getaway for a weekend from somebody who drives a luxury up-to-date vehicle or can spend more than you can on her would entail. She have a dash out. So you're already putting yourself in a position to be hurt, in a position to fail. Are you dating because you're looking for a wife, or are you dating because you're just single and you want a woman? What's your purpose of dating? That's the first one. What's your purpose of dating? Nature man says she a Lego beast. What's your purpose of dating? The man saying, get up and leave her, right? I'm going to the bathroom, I'll be back. I left her. Your chest too high, $154. And who I pay that? We're talking US dollars here. Who I pay that? Now, in all honesty, men have to start being more honest. See, don't go impressing when you can't keep up that impression. You understand? So don't go showing out and empty out your bank account for the first few days for sure. Said this is who you can afford all these things, and then she's expecting more of these things or for you to keep up this lifestyle, and you can't. The last time she gets some seafood from you was on the first 2 dates, and y'all been dating for 2 years now, and ever since then it's been fast food or you never even get her nothing, and it's because you can't. You know, don't go in there like that. Go in there as honest as, listen to me, bro. Go in, hear me now, listen to me, bro. Go in there as honest as you can be and be like this. Listen, I know you like seafood and all that stuff, but honestly, all that stuff is expensive for me. You know, genuinely is expensive for me. I'm trying, I'm young, I'm out here. I don't really have any help. I'm trying really hard. I haven't gotten to that point in life yet. And I got bills. And I'm responsible. I take care of my bills. You know, I have my rent, I have my light bill, my car note, my phone bill, my label out your bill them, but be honest. and tell her that, yo, this is what I can afford. She'll probably go sit down at a Sonics with you. She'll probably go sit at a KFC with you. She'll probably go sit at a Burger King with you. Yeah? And she'll probably enjoy it, knowing that you are able, this is what you can afford, and you're staying on your level, and you're not being pretentious and fake. Because women be on your game too. So if she realized that you are being fake from the beginning, trust me, she having that conversation with her girls. Girl, he fake, he broke as hell. Let me tell you, that boy took us out last night. We went to this restaurant. I ordered food. The meal came to $154, and her friends are gonna be like, $154? Girl, you wicked, you crazy. What? But tell me what happened though. Tell me what happened. And she gonna be like, he couldn't pay. He couldn't pay. And guess what? He really hurting financially. That boy ain't got nothing. He over here acting like big spenders. I'm gonna break his pockets real quick. And no, I don't want him. So what ends up happening is you get hurt and panty not even move. And not even shift to the side like a bit for you. See? So just got it from the beginning. I'll be 100 with it. Look, this is what I can afford. I can't eat. Sure. Hey, even if you ask them, where would you like to go to eat? Maybe you're trying to know what she's into. And she goes, oh, Crafty Crabs, or oh, Melbourne Seafood Station, and you're like, damn, that's expensive. I would love to eat some of that too, but I can't afford that. Be straight up. Be straight up. Who to know? This girl might stick around with you till you get to the point where you actually can afford that. And then the beauty about that relationship is she'll be able to look back with you, and you guys will be like, remember when the only thing we could afford was the dollar menu from Taco Bell? And we used to drive through there all the time. Man, that stuff used to send me to the bathroom late at night and blah. That's the beauty of relationships that last, that are built from scratch. See? That's the beauty of those kind of relationships. So are you looking for something genuine, or you just look for gal? Because if you're looking for a woman that's going to go the distance with you, then you have to start off 100 from the get-go. You see me? Some people can afford it. Let them afford it. Some women, they won't compromise. You have to expensive from the get-go because she doesn't look a man where have money, where a dash up on her. You're going to be able to know once you're upfront that that's the kind of person she is. Because from you say you can't afford it, she'll cut. Because she's not used to that. But don't come gather your coins and pretending you could afford it. And then when she go over budget, you're ball. Jesus Christ. You're watching the menu like this. The first thing she ordered, you look on the menu too. Oh shit, that's $26 already. I hope she not order nothing else. And then she goes, yeah, and can I have the, so, and you're like, oh, that's $48. Damn, I hope she not order nothing else. Camille will come with $70. Me no order my food yet. She already gone $57 for her food. When me I go eat, now you have to search the menu for something extra cheap, and then she goes, oh, okay, and let me get the mojito, but I want the house special. Yeah, the one with the thing in the special thing is that's $20. Okay, so she gone 65 and a 70. Me Jesus, don't do that. Yeah, if you gotta be watching the menu and watching what she ordering and you afraid, me I carry you go $1 place. I am sure I could follow you up off of Taco Bell dollar menu. If you don't like it, just put enough hot sauce on it. Hot sauce make everything taste good. And you're going to like my sense of humor because you're going to see me over there putting enough hot sauce on it. Because hot sauce make everything taste good. And you're going to laugh about that too. Yeah, but just be genuine. Be genuine in your ways. And you will know who is who, and you can let go of who. You're setting yourself up for heartbreak, my brother. Setting yourself up for failure from the get-go. Stop with the fake it to make it, pretending that you're something you're not. Because it's all going to come out shortly anyways. And if she a real digger, it's going to come out real quick. All right? 2 restaurant visit. Maybe on the first one, she take you to like Benihana's and it's like $75 a plate. And, and she decides that she just wants 2 plates. I want 2 plates today. I want to sample the black rice with the, yeah, is that Atlantic salmon? Yeah, I'll take that one and then give me another one. I'll sample the, and she already gone $300 per plate and you not order yet. See, stop with the fake. Just be for real. That's my advice. All right. And shout out to the women who are expensive. That's you. That's your choice. If you're expensive and you can afford it for yourself, you're on the right path. If you're expensive and you can't afford it for yourself, but you're always looking for someone else to afford it for you, then I don't know what to tell you. You're in a problems. You're going to be a pass around because there are a lot of guys out here that can afford. So it's on to the next one. And guys, usually when they find out that that's how you are, is on to the next one, even when they can afford it. So it's twisty turvy. All right. Georgia says, I went on a date. Is a date or a date? I went on a date with a big man and he takes me to the IHOP. Then he wants me to show him some first at that too. Now, if he had taken you to Crafty Crabs and had you out for lobster and crabs and stuff, would you have shown him? That's my question. Would you have shown him? Because it's twisted that the man thinks that because the dinner was expensive that she has to put out. So if you're not going to put out, you better order some cheap food. Like this is the this is the head and back side of the menu, and this is the conversation side of the menu. So which side of the menu you eating from? Like that's crazy, but it's also crazy when I see a woman that says, he took me to IHOP and thought he was going to get some. So if he had taken you to one of the expensive restaurants, he would have gotten some. Eh? Guyanese dog, good morning. Guyanese dog said, I always have my credit card on me and I split the bill. See, the way I was raised won't allow me to split no bill. That's why me a one burner here, man. I just sit right where I'm at. I can't do it. I can't do it. Dating and trying to find somebody to be with who is worth being with, it is so tiresome. It is so tiresome. Guyanese dog, shout out to you because you're pulling your own. But that's a good way to test a man as well, ladies. May I tell my daughter them things I know? I'm going to tell my daughter these things. Listen, if she's able to take care of herself 100%, that's fine. Good and dandy, right? Don't depend on no man to take care of you. Like if he didn't pay for it, could you still have it if you wanted it? That kind of thing. If he did not pay for it, could you still have it if you wanted it? And if the answer is, yeah, I don't need him to have it, then boom, you're on the right track. But if you going out ordering it and you know that if he didn't pay for it, you couldn't have it and you would have to find someone else to pay for it, then you living a bit above your means. You're living a bit above your means. And you're probably going to find yourself used up. Because once people find out that that's your ammo, that's what they do. A lot of people out here got things. That's what they do. I've heard females brag before, girl, hell yeah, he got his own house. He drive a nice car. Girl, he got a pool in the back and everything. And her friend is like, and he got a woman? No, he ain't got no woman, girl. He live by himself. Girl, I'm moving in. Girl, I'm skin out, spread out, in a bed. First 2 days. And then she started getting flaked off. Why you think? Because there's a lot of you out there. It's not hard to, hey, come here. And they're like, oh, I want to stay. Make them feel good for 2 days. I ain't even calling you. When them text us, somebody else. Because there's a lot of you like that out there. That kind. You know what I'm saying? So on both sides, it's for the female, it's decide who you are. You're an expensive female because you work hard. And these things that you desire, you can afford for yourself. Then by all means, treat yourself because you work hard and you are truly that, an independent woman. But if a man, if you pay for them something for you, and it is a man where you are look at date from and you looking at date for you, and then you have to go decide, well, if I order from this side of the menu, that's the head and backers side of the menu, I'm ready to give neither head nor backers, and this side are the cheap side. I don't really want to eat from the cheap side. Then you're on the wrong track. You're on the wrong track. David Daly says she's for the streets. And a lot of them are for the streets. But a lot of brothers are dunce as hell too. Because they go in there with that, I got it like that. You know, and trying to impress. All right, she's going to find out how much you got it like that real quick. You're going to find out how much you got it like that real quick. That's why I see some of them, you know. That's why I always tell men, I say, listen, man, invest only what you can afford to lose. All right? Invest only what you can afford to lose. That means that if you spend it, and she decides, hey, I don't even want to be with this dude. Click, and she go, bye. Hey, I didn't lose nothing. I was spending what I could afford. So she gone, okay, I'm still intact. I still got, but you have them man that were really like clean out them savings and everything. And then when she decides, say, I found somebody better, because she that type of girl, right? Your money ran out, but she got somebody with longer paper now. You want to kill somebody. Look how she do me. She empty up a bank account. Some of them can't even tell everybody that because they shame. My car payment late, my car pay my car note this month. I come repossess my car. This girl have beer expensive restaurant and red bottom and this and that. Look how she do me. Look how she do me. It's not how she do you, it's how you did you. Let's look at how you did you. You know the old saying, see a fool, use a fool? A lot of people do that still. And not only see a fool, use a fool, but some people just put themselves out there to be hurt. So don't be one of those people. All right? Upfront from beginning, this is what I can afford. Whether it's the dollar menu from Taco Bell, or it's steak and lobster and shrimps and crab and everything, that you just be upfront from the beginning. So she know what she had to deal with. She might go tell her friend, girl, he broke his down. He broke his, you know what. But he fine as hell. And I love this conversation, man. He had me laughing so much. And her friend might be like, no, stop, girl. So this man had you eating what? Off the dollar menu at Taco Bell. You don't even eat like that. And she like, girl, I tell you, my belly, I had to run to the bathroom. I was like, blah, 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 blah. But the date was so, I mean, I laughed till my stomach hurt, girl. You know, and she coming back again for more of you. Not more of what you can afford, not more of your money, not more of where you can take her or buy her. She's coming back for more of you. So you decide if you want to set yourself up for heartbreak and failure, or you want to set yourself up to link up with somebody that's genuine. We're going to leave it right there, sir. I think I gave good advice this morning. You agree? I'm going to talk foolishness. All right. Marley says, preach. Don't take Jamaica YouTube TV. Big up yourself. Manners and respect, and thank you for being here. That's another Jamaican, another YouTuber. Another one I would send everybody over there. Go support his channel. Go see how he's doing. You know what I mean? Lend an ear and a subscribe and these kind of things. Gaza Nation, KOD, big up yourself. True. Sasha So Cool says, I went out with one guy, and because I didn't want to go to the hotel with him, he refused to pay for my meal. The lunch only cost $25 or less. He looking for a street hooker. Matter of fact, he looking for a street hooker that's on crack, because that's about their prices, right? He wanted some $20 head or something. $25 to a hotel. Yeah, hey, that's how it is. It's rough out here. Omega Brown says, hence broke men, 5 or more kids, LOL. They can lay but not pay. He can splurge and go to Wendy's for 4 meals, and she should be satisfied. Not true? The $100 instead of spending $107. But I would want a woman like that. I would want a woman that says to me, SouFlo, listen, babe. Listen, okay, so you can afford all that, right? But check it. Let's not do that. It's a waste. That's what I would want. I would want a woman with a conscious mind. See, Jamaica YouTube TV, manners and respect. So up my general on the graveyard, all right? And like we said, big up to the people I'm going out to work this morning. Y'all one of them. You dep on your thing, make it happen, bro. Yeah, it's the name menu that means me and you pay the bill. No, you have the head and back side of the menu, and then you have the conversation side of the menu. So you here just for conversation, you can only eat from this side. You here for head and backers, come here, get all that, you can eat from this side for sure. Anything from the head and backer side, order it. As long as it's head and backers after this. Don't put yourself in that position. She said she went for a date and what? My first dating with one would be drinking and I pay for it. Stun him with the gun. He come touch me. Stun him with the gun. He come touch me next 2 times when he paying for the food without a problem or a touch. I'm a good girl. You must know. You must know. I meant he can't touch me or ask me nothing about them things. That's Katie Solomon. And guys usually know too, because if you're talking, if we're going to sneak in there on that first date and see how far we can go with it. It's like if you touch our leg, y'all laugh and you're like, you hit that thigh and she don't say nothing. All right, she never said nothing that time then. All right. Move up a little further next time. If she only look and she like, you too much, then you know you can press up, right? But if you do this and you hear, hey, excuse me, what are you doing? That kind of like, okay, she's not that type. All right, let me get back into myself. And by then you're probably gone too far too, because she's like, oh, hell no. You looking for ass on first date. I'm out, bye. Or she's going to stay and play. You know, we know how to gauge. We know how to gauge, but at the same time, just be upfront and be right and correct. And this we can afford, and this we are going to eat. Me not play with that. I would want a woman, like I was trying to say earlier before I got off track, I would want a woman to say, okay, listen, even though we can afford all this, check this out. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. There's so much more things you could be putting that money towards, right? Why spend every time we eat, it's $150? Some people feed a whole family of 6 and 7 less than $150 a week. So why eat like that every night or every time we go somewhere, which could be multiple times for the week, right? Adapt me what I want. So right away, if she was talking that and only that, may I cut? May I cut? Probably buy her a few of them meals that make you feel like that's that and drop on me, bang and gone about my business. But I'm not wifing because can't stay that long. That's not a sustainable lifestyle. You know, even multi-millionaires don't do that. So why would you want me to do that? Even multi-millionaires do not do that. Most millionaires remain a millionaire because they spend little while making a lot. You understand? And then they diversify their investments and so on and so forth and have multiple streams of income and blah, blah. We could get into all that. But poor people actually spend like they're rich, you know, trying to look rich. While rich people don't. I remember there was one multi-millionaire, and by the time they caught this guy, what he was doing was he would go to public bathrooms. No joke. He would go to public bathrooms and he would steal their toilet paper. And then if there were double-ply toilet paper, this man would have split the double-ply in 2 and reel it off on 2 different rolls, like he was serious about his millions. And he was a legitimate multi-millionaire. And people are like, oh no, that's going too far. And he said, yeah, some people say it's going too far, but it's what I've been doing from before I was a millionaire, from before I came into money. And it was this same discipline that got me to where I'm at. So I don't plan on changing up now. Now, when a girl comes see me, I split my ply of toilet paper in 2, she's going to run away and laugh at me. And she's going to tell her friend them, yo, I'm broke, you see? The boy can't afford toilet paper. My girl, $1 for toilet paper, you know? He can't afford toilet paper. He literally split the thing in 2. Mr. Me a wipe on my hand, just bust through the something and, yo, I can't go back over there here, man. Them kind of thing that I'm going to talk about you. but you have to know what you're working towards, and don't make nobody stray you to where you're trying to impress so hard that you end up going broke trying to impress. Half of the time you go broke trying to impress broke people. Why? So you can be broke like them again? That makes sense to you? Half of the time people go broke trying to impress broke people, and before you know it, you're broke like them again, pretending you're rich. Rich people don't impress nobody. They don't care, because rich people are usually around rich people, and they're usually around people that are richer than they are. So, hey, I can afford this nice vehicle. I can afford that nice house. I can afford these shoes, this, that, this outfit. Half of the time, the rich people don't even wear those things. They don't even wear those things. Them take on a simple, Mr. The man them in a simple mom, what they call it, dad jeans. They won't even go a little trendy. Dad jeans and a polo shirt. That's it. And that's the uniform I beat right through. You don't see them hold up them foot and talk about, yo, my big foot them now put it on camera. You don't see them holding up their foot talking about, oh, my red bottoms and 800 and pay for them, you know. Now my next pair say 2,700 and pay for them, you know. And they don't. They don't. They took that $2,700 and you have 5 pairs of $2,700 shoes in your closet, and you don't have $2,700 in your checking account. I mean, I say your savings, you know. I said your checking account. So when the end of the month comes, can you pay your bills from your checking account and still not touch your savings? Because savings is for saving, you know. Some people barely have saved to a next paycheck and still want to live that kind of life. You can't do that. Can't do that. $2,700 shoes on your feet and you don't have $2,700 in your checking. Let's talk US dollars. Then you're going down the wrong path anyways. See? So anyhow, this is turning into something else. Black people always trying to keep up with the Joneses. Yeah. I was going to say don't generalize and just say black people, but it is us that I see doing it. It's us I see doing it. I remember going to school and some of the most brilliant kids that were not of our persuasion, they never were into, they wore the stuff that we used to laugh at. And my mom used to dress me like that when I first came to the US. You know, they used to call my shoes bubbles. And I used to draw, remember, I think I told y'all before, I drew the Nike sign on one of my shoes. I'm afraid to walk in the rain because my Nike sign was so convincing. A girl at school, the girl used to tease me all the time. She actually said, finally you got some good shoes. Now you can do something about your outfits, right? Those kids, they were like top of the class, the nerd group, we call them, all that. And I try to tell my kids that today. None of them wore Jordans. None of them had on nothing expensive. Their parents, matter of fact, used to shop at thrift stores and stuff like that. And it wasn't because they probably couldn't afford to shop at the same, because my mother shop at the same JCPenney. You know, JCPenney had racks, but more than likely she was shopping at Marshall's off the sales rack and these kind of things. And she was convinced that she was putting us together well. She was doing her best. But people would laugh at the stuff that we were wearing, right? Because we didn't have our name brand. Most of those kids today, they own companies, corporations. They're well off in life. So that tells me, like, invest back in yourself in a way that is going to produce. If me have $2,700, this is SouFLoTV mindset. If I have $2,700 to spare, I can guarantee you it won't go to no pair of shoes, 2 pairs of shoes. And I'm talking about 27 to spare after I've taken care of everything and everybody else. I'm thinking along the lines of this. How can I make this $2,700 double up? That's the first thing I start thinking. How can I make this $2,700 double up? And if I can't double it up right away or come up with an idea that can double it up, I shelf it in savings and leave it there until I come up with a sensible way of how to double it up. You know what I'm saying? Dentra Pearsall says, facts, invest in yourself. Buy only what you need while you're building your empire. Yes. Yes, you can treat yourself every now and then, especially if you're doing it big. But you got to understand, too, that nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. I've seen people get it, and they thought it was going to last forever. And then we weren't getting it at that time. And we fast forward down the road 10 years now, and those people no longer have the big house that they used to have. They're no longer driving. I swear to you on everything. I even tell wifey this. I said, it's funny the things you recognize living in the same city for a long period of time. Because living here, I've been able to see the flossers. A lot of them went from having everything and showboating to now, because they know me, right? From showboating to actually trying to duck when they see me. Now, I don't judge you by what you have. So I don't care if you used to drive something fancy back then and now you're in a 1994 Honda that backfires when you start it and you have to like duck to go into your vehicle because you see me coming so you can't say hi. You can still say hi. I won't judge. I understand life. I know that you can get money, but I also know that it goes faster than you can get it. So if me have a little 2,700 for spend, it ain't going towards no shoes. For what? To impress who? To impress who? I'm not in those circles. I don't party with Kevin Hart and Puffy and them. I don't party in their circle. So what do we need $2,700 shoes for? So I'm gonna go to a club where in Miami with a bunch of hood ninjas to impress who? And then it darken at the club. Who's gonna see my feet? You know what I'm saying? Like what? You're literally going broke trying to impress broke people. And before you know it, you're broke like them again. Anyhow, we're going to leave it here this morning. We went an extra 27 minutes. Shout out to all the people that tuned in. Let me leave this video right here by saying this again to the brothers them out there. Be upfront from the beginning. Don't go in there trying to impress and buying up a whole bunch of stuff you cannot afford. You will attract a woman that is not genuine to you. If it's dollar menu you eating off of, let her know from the get-go, yo, I'm really feeling you. I like you a lot. I wish I could take you out on more dates. I can't afford it right now. I'm on my grind. I'm trying to build me. But we could go eat at Burger King or we could go eat at, you know what I'm saying? And if she says yes and she's down for it, then you know you on your way with a real one. If she said, oh, hell no, I don't eat that kind of stuff, then you know she's either out of your league or she's not your type. And you keep it moving. All right? Left or right, that's up. Productivity and progress, we say now. Up, up, up. Like that. All right? I'm out. Peace. Papa. Kai.